Hello and welcome to HyzerMedia's coverage of the Norse Gods Championship presented by Home Again Disc Golf. As always, we would like to thank our presenting sponsors of this coverage, Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dylan Horst. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going well. Happy to be here. So to see who's on our card today, we got Jesse Longenecker, which shot the hot round of -12. He's currently in first place, followed by Lucas Oberholtzer Hess, which shot -10, which was on our coverage on the last round. Zachary Tesone shot a -9, puts him in third place. And then rounding us out, Travis Dombach, currently in fourth with a -8.
Should be an exciting card to watch. Switching over to the shorter layout here at Shiprock, the Silvers. Looking at hole one, it's a par 3, downhill, 353. Most players are just going to throw a nice straight shot through this gap, hoping to get themselves a putt.
2023 Disc Golf Open of Pennsylvania champion. Give it up for Jesse Longenecker.
Yeah, as Eric said, Jesse coming off that big B-tier win earlier this year. If you haven't already, check out that coverage on HyzerMedia. He shredded.
That was a very exciting coverage, for sure. Yeah, and here we have Jesse throwing something pretty slow. I think it was a Rico, I want to say. Something glow, trying to do something nice and floaty.
Your 2023 Syracuse Open MPO champion. Give it up for Lucas Oberholtzer Hess.
Yeah, it's a nice shot there from Jesse. Obviously, if you watch any HyzerMedia, you've seen Lucas before. Throws a mile, has won a bunch of B tiers already this year. Still looking for that big win. But looking to start off on the right foot. This is a good looking shot, maybe a little inside.
Third off the tee. Third place 2022 PDGA Amateur World Championships. Give it up for Zachary Tesone.
Yeah, Lucas hit the last tree coming in, but I think he's going to have a nice putt inside the circle. And then Zachary Tesone, really good, very smooth golfer, well-rounded game with power backhand and a power forehand.
Yeah, this looks smooth, a little wide. It's going to have to get lucky through those backside trees. It does. He'll have a long putt.
Last off the tee, your 2017 Shiprocktoberfest MPO champion,
Went to the archives for that.
Travis Dombach.
Travis, the man that needs no introduction here, one of the course designers. Saw him in the first round light up the front, and yeah, let's see what he can do on shorts at his design course.
Yeah, this is looking nice. I like the slope disc option in that inside gap. Looks like he catches a tree late in the flight, but he'll have circle's edge putt right there. A couple of birdie putts coming up.
Yeah, Tesone, a little bit of a death putt, but it's almost a free run because it's not, sure it is downhill, but it kind of plateaus at the bottom, so it kind of flattens out. Just kind of left it a little short, but kept it nice and close. It's kind of hard to run that being your first putt of the day.
Yeah, and I feel like hole one is probably one of the more bonus birdies that you'll see on the shorts. Pretty scoreable layout, but this one it's tough to really park it. Most players you're going to find you get that circle's edge, circle two look. So I would think most people aren't too upset with the par.
Yeah, Jesse just a little low there. Low ceiling. It happens. Again, first big putt of the day, having a nice downhill putt. Travis here, maybe like circle's edge, maybe just outside. Nice little straddle around the tree, but I think his ceiling's pretty open.
Definitely gave it a good effort. A little high, a little unfortunate roll away there. Going to leave him a tester for his par comebacker, but you got to at least like the commitment. Lucas now just inside the circle for his birdie and sneaks it in over the cage. Not the most confident putt, but I'm sure he'll take it to get his round started in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely a good catch. Giving it a little love on the way by to pick up his disc. And yeah, Travis here having a decent comeback putt, but through the first round he was pretty confident on his putts. Just a little undercommitted there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, left side chains there. Definitely don't want to be dropping strokes here on the silver layout. Like we said, very scoreable, lot of par threes and short par fours where you can pick up strokes. So you don't want to be moving in the wrong direction. But the good news is he's got 17 holes left to make up ground.
Yeah, hoping for something exciting today. Can't wait.
Yeah, what do they say? All good rounds start with a bogey? We'll find out.
Hole 2, par 3, 237 feet. So the shorter tee pad kind of opens up the gap a little bit more. Most players are going to throw a nice touchy sidearm that kind of pushes straight and then dives right. Lefty's probably going to go with the backhand. You do have to watch out. The basket is probably about, 30 to 40 feet away from the water in the back. So got to watch your distance control here. Then Lucas throwing a nice beat-in slammer. Gives it a decent amount of pace, puts himself inside the circle to give himself a good opportunity.
Yeah, I think most folks here are going to take their favorite slow putt and overstable putt and approach disc. I think this is a justice from Jesse there. Just let the disc do the work. Hit the gap, let the disc do the work. It's definitely a must-get birdie if you're looking to score out here on the silvers.
Exactly. It's pretty much right in front of you. Fairly open gap. Zach kind of clips something on the inside, throws something maybe a little too stable, but he still has a circle 2 putt. Definitely not one you want on this hole because it's only 230 feet, but still an opportunity.
Yeah, it comes out a little high from Travis, clips some cabbage, but that is going to be the best shot of the group. Absolutely parks it. That's a great way to bounce back from the struggles on hole 1.
And Zach here, probably about a 50-footer. Doesn't look like it's very windy this round. It's a good bid. It's a little more pop, would have been right in.
Yeah, and you can see there they did flag the OB there at the top of the hill, so maybe a little less room behind the basket than on a typical non-tournament day. Lucas, yeah, that's brutal. I think he knows it.
Yeah, I think that's the first spit out we've seen. I can't remember any others, but
yeah,
wow,
that one was bad. Low middle and just straight through the chains. I mean, Lucas definitely putts with some pace, but you'd expect these disc catchers to hold on to that one.
And then Travis and Jesse with the birdies, Zachary with the par, and then Lucas, the unfortunate spit through, but par's still fine. Just has to bounce back from that par.
Since 2021, Home Again Disc Golf has been committed to bringing the highest quality discs, apparel, and accessories to players on and off the course. No matter where you are, when you're on the course, you're home again.
Jumping into hole 3, 228-foot par 3. It's kind of an uphill shot. You've got this very steep drop off on the right-hand side. Most of these guys are probably going to go putter or mid-range. Something nice and straight with a little bit of fade at the end. And hopefully your disc sticks on this hill. Jesse goes a little deep, but that nice retaining wall catches his disc. That's going to be a park job.
It's definitely a good hole to park. You don't want to be down left or right because it's very steep, especially if you get an unfortunate roll down the hill on the right-hand side. And Travis here pulls it a little bit right, misses the gap, hits an early tree, kicks left. It's going to from there.
Yeah, it's a tough scramble, especially like you said, this hillside. A big number can come in quick if you find yourself at the bottom of the hill. So it's really important to hit the gap off the tee. Yeah, there's that roll we were talking about. Although he catches a tree there, which is not the worst result. Might have a long putt.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky with the footing. Ground is pretty dry, so you should have a ground shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's just the elevation, just the pace. And then Tesone here, a little early on the release. Gets a little bit of penetration up there, but it's still going to be a little bit of an upshot to get there. And Travis here, actually fairly open. He just has to watch the pace so it doesn't come in with too much speed and then, kind of hop over the wall.
Yeah, it's pretty open, but there's a couple of trees that are a bit short of the basket that you really got to be careful of. Travis goes a little deep, like you said, but looks like he stays up top, so shouldn't be too long of a putt. It's actually close enough. I guess he can just give this a long jump putt here. Still kind of tricky. Oh, he's just giving it a run. Oh my God, he cans it. 100-footer, Zach Tesone. Let's go.
That is awesome. Could be a contender for shot of the round.
Yeah, wow. Let's take another look. That's got to be at least 90 to 100 feet. Full flex on that putt. And just catches it dead center. Wow.
That is awesome. And the thing was, if it missed the basket, it wasn't going to go more than probably 10 feet. Perfectly paced putt.
Just lacking the commitment there. Didn't quite get the height for Lucas. Travis now 25 feet or so to save his par. Nicely done there. It's a good scramble after coming up a little short on the drive.
Yeah, definitely a good up and down from Travis. Like you were saying earlier, a lot of big numbers can happen quick if you don't have a good upshot. And then Jesse here, right next to it, almost sticks, almost falls through, but grabs the last chain, stays in, and then Lucas here with the par.
Yeah, I'd say holes 1 and 3 definitely okay with settling. Obviously, par doesn't feel great, but okay to settle for that and kind of not drop a stroke.
Hole 4, par 3, 312 feet. From the short tee pad, it basically brings this hole, cuts it in half from the long position. So essentially where people were trying to land on their tee shot is where we're throwing from this round. So you have two options. You have the forehand around the left side of the big tree, or you have kind of the hyzer flip pop up down the right. Jesse looks like he's going to throw the low forehand on the left-hand side. Doesn't quite get around that last tree. It's definitely a more technical shot throwing the forehand. The backhand is a little more friendly.
Yeah, the backhand's kind of just like a nice straight mid-range. Can really just play through the gap you see off the tee. Although I will say the forehand has opened up a little more now that they've cleared out some of those skinny trees that used to be to the right of the basket from this view. Zach comes up a bit short right there. Just swung it a little too wide. Easy mistake to make on this one. It's a little downhill, so your disc doesn't really want to fade. It kind of just wants to hold straight.
Travis here,
line.
Yeah, hits the line just a hinge too short, but should be a long look. Not sure exactly how far away it was, but still gonna have a little bit of meat left on the bone. And then Lucas here, nice and smooth, friendly kick behind the last tree, maybe like 25 away. A bird.
Yeah, that tree's not too far away, so shouldn't be too long of a putt for him. This putt can get a little quick. It looks like they did trim this green pretty low, so Zach actually does have a long look here. You see it on the edge.
It was close. Still, great pace on the putt so far this round. Still giving it bids, and yeah, he just had a little bit more. It wouldn't have went that far. Travis here, circle 2. Perfect.
Super clean putt there from Travis. Just stands and delivers from about 40 feet. Lets the disc glide into the chains. That was a really nice birdie.
You got Lucas here. Dead center. Never a doubt. Low right. Yeah, perfect putt. Perfect pace.
Yeah. It's nice to bounce back there after the spit out on 2 and the just kind of uncommitted putt on 3. Hopefully he can kind of dial that back in. It's going to be a lot of those 25, 30 footers today if you're, for birdies on the silver layout. Pretty much, if you're throwing well, almost every hole. So you got to be making a large majority of those if you're gonna score well out here. Looking at hole 5, the iconic, I don't know, I call it the castle hole, even though it probably was not a castle, just 244 up on that hill right there. Most players just throwing something slow, just looking to land it on top of that hill and not leave yourself with too tricky of a putt. Distance control is the most important part of this one.
Go in, do it.
Oh, wow. That was an ace run right there from Travis. Leaks it a little long. That's kind of what you get for giving it that bid, but super ambitious line.
Yeah, I was holding my breath the whole time. And Lucas here doesn't quite give it the height. Slammer doesn't really have a lot of glide, so it was a good disc choice. He just needed it a couple more feet in the air or a little more pace. He's going to have a pretty tough putt from there for the birdie.
Yeah, I might have to go with a scuba or something with that wall in his face. Jesse, nice distance control, super smooth. That looks like it stayed up on that top of the hill. Should leave him with a short birdie putt.
Yeah, it's like one of the few mistakes you just can't make was going a little short, just because it's really tough to putt over that wall. And Zach right there, seems like it might have slipped out of his hand a little bit. This is going to be very tricky. But like I said, here's that scuba.
Not a bad effort there, just a little low, not quite committed. Again, this is also a tricky green. If you leave yourself with a longer putt, can get yourself into some trouble with some rollaways. Lucas looks like he actually must have rolled back off the wall, so he's got a bit of a longer, just normal putt at it, but just a bit high.
Yeah, it was definitely a good effort and pretty fortunate on the roll, but yeah, just couldn't quite capitalize on the opportunity. And Travis here from probably another like circle's edge putt. Catches on the left-hand side, but sticks in there. Perfect. Good bird.
Yeah, that'll work. I mean, they've cleared out the screen a lot, so that putt that Travis had, last year would not have been as open as it is now, but fortunate to get away with that, and he can have his cake in the ace run and eat it too with the birdie. So it's a nice one to pick up.
Yeah, and Jesse
are playing with Lucas.
Oh yeah, yep. Seems like he's having really good putts though. He's all over it. Just hey, if you're getting contact on the basket, that's a good sign. Hole 6, par 4, 627 feet. So from the short pad, we don't have to deal with the gap hit. So a lot of players are going to be throwing the aggressive turnover to try to get as much distance as they can, or they still might just throw a nice pitch forehand to try to cut the hole in half per se, to get 350 feet off the forehand, throw a nice 300-foot hyzer. But it's one of those ones you don't need to get too much distance off the tee to give yourself the opportunity for the birdie. And Travis here, going with the nice turnover, probably a little lower than he wants, but you do have to watch out for the OB to the right and then the OB to the left. So it still requires you to be a little bit precise instead of just going for glory.
Yeah, I don't hate the low miss. You'll find a lot of players that do go with the backhand line tend to, if you have the power, can go OB long and left if you don't turn something over enough. Jesse opting with that safe forehand line. Love the option or the idea there, just to keep something that moves with the fairway. Lucas doing the same, just a big hyzer. Never any doubt that one's just going to be right in the middle.
Exactly. And it seems like they're getting pretty far down the fairway too, so it should be a pretty routine, per se, upshot to the basket. There's not a lot in the way after you get kind of up to the straightaway. And Tesone here shows off his power sidearm like the other two. Gets in a similar location.
Yeah, these guys are probably looking at about 300 to 350 uphill. The upshot can be a little tricky because it has a bit of a false front to the green. So oftentimes if you're not familiar with the course, you can throw a shot that looks like you're parked and then you come up about 40 short. So you just want to make sure you put the practice in to know exactly how hard you need to hit this upshot. Or even if you do play this course all the time, like Travis, can still come up a little short and wide. So he's going to have another one of those 30, 40 footers for his birdie.
And here we have Lucas throwing a nice stalling forehand. Looked a little wide at first, but hey, gave it the right height, gave it the right pace. Maybe like 20 feet short, but yeah, that's a really good shot from there.
Yeah, these guys bit off a good amount of, maybe a little more than I thought off the tee with these forehands. I think Zach's just going mid-range in towards the basket. He's a little short left. It's a pretty common miss you'll see on this upshot with that bit of uphill.
Jesse here, throwing it a little wide, but something pretty stable to come right on back. Probably puts himself just outside the bullseye. So, yeah, there's just some pretty good upshots from there. And yeah, like you said, it seems like they crushed it.
Yeah, farthest out is going to be Travis here. Just outside the circle, a little bit tentative there. Just catches the cage. And Zach a little shorter than I thought as well.
Just a little high. Wanted it, so can't blame the one. Definitely committed.
Nice putt there from Lucas. Able to pick up the birdie for himself. Jesse, I assume, will be not too far behind as he taps in. Yeah, just about 15 feet or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, solid. Yeah, it's one of those that you said, that second shot can be very tricky, at least as far as gauging how far to kind of throw your second shot, because there really isn't much by the basket to kind of gauge, kind of pull from.
Taking a look here at hole 7 is a par 4, only 500 feet, playing from that short pad we just flew over to the right. Most of these guys are going to opt for a big hyzer that either goes through this gap or just straight up over those trees if you have the power. And then from there, honestly, these guys might have a long jump putt. You could see some people get aggressive, go big turnover just over the trees to the left, but it's kind of a riskier play out here at a beach here. I doubt we'll see anybody opt for that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people on our card today have a lot of hyzer power. So they might be able to get down there for jump putt range. That seems like it was a little short left, but yeah, that's probably about like 60 to 80 feet away. That was a crush.
Yeah, that was absolutely smoked from Jesse. Yeah, I'm thinking a 70 foot or something in that range. Lucas. Oh, this is just too straight. I mean, it's going to be fine. But yeah, I'm sure he wants that a little higher out of the hand and to just stay on hyzer the whole time, because I know Lucas has the power to park this hole for eagle.
Oh, for sure.
If he hits it on the right line.
Yeah, he definitely wanted a little bit of extra sauce on that one. I pushed it a little straight. And Travis just accepting the bird, just trying to put himself in position, gets through the gap, probably has, maybe 150, 200 foot upshot from there. Nothing really in the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is, if you couldn't tell, the easiest hole on the course, played at a 3.24 average. So definitely a nice smooth catch there from Zach with the hat. And a nice shot as well. Yeah, just putting it something through the gap. Like you said, about 150 feet in from there. Another kind of tricky upshot. This green also has kind of a false front and a slope behind. So, you want to be careful with your distance control, but all of these guys should be able to put a wide open 150 foot upshot within, putting range on a hole like this.
Travis, perfect. Probably a nice proxy. Give it a little bit of a snap. Keep it flowing straight. That's fine. And whoa, this is very stable from Zach, but helps him get the pace right. Puts himself probably within 20. Oh, great.
Jesse, maybe even a little closer than we thought. That kind of looked like a 50 footer, if I'm being honest. And if he's already putted, then okay, Lucas went a little farther along than we expected, so just opts to lay that one up. But yeah, like we said, easiest hole on the course. Not surprising that these guys are most likely going to be walking away with a star frame, barring any unfortunate spit outs. Nice pick there from Travis.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, top card today. We're kind of hoping for for a nice star frame, and it's looking pretty good. Yep. I think we should be able to wrap it up. Yeah, I bet if, a couple people had another, oh man, close from Lucas, but they had another time to play this one, that one of them would get that eagle. Here we are, hole 8, par 3, 263 feet, straight downhill, and you can see the basket. So unlike the long, where it's kind of going up and over, this is pretty much just straight downhill. Try to get the pace right. Worst case, if you don't get the pace right, you might get fortunate enough to bank off one of the trees, keep your disc close. But a lot of these players are just either trying to, who knows, maybe ace run it or hit just a little short, skip up, just like that to put it probably within 20.
Yeah, another very straightforward hole, third easiest hole on the course. So yeah, this is, like you said, an ace run if you're feeling a little spicy. If not, gotta be able to stick something close and leave yourself with a short birdie putt. I'm surprised these guys go for the forehand. I mean, obviously it's pretty wide open, so it doesn't really matter, but there are multiple trees to the left of the basket that can kind of get in the way if you land in an unfortunate spot, where this backhand, I think, is a lot more open, although that's going to be a tricky putt now that I say it.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot of people like the forehand because it almost seems like the backhand, when it hyzers out, it's more going with the hill and going down and to the left. It's like easier for it to skip, if that makes sense. While the forehand, it seems like it can still skip, but it's going against the grade of the hill. So it kind of slows it down just a little bit. Even though there are a couple trees, it just helps kind of gauge how far you're throwing it versus the backhand. Once it hits, you might want to jump down there.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Travis, he's got a little window here. Let's see if he's able to thread the needle, and he is. Nice birdie pick up there on the 30-footer.
Yeah, Zach here. Yeah, out like circle's edge.
Ooh, just sneaks it over the cage there.
Love to see it.
Yeah, no pictures on the scorecard, except when we come out to take videos. Are we going to have back-to-back star frames here? Lucas is able to connect on this 15-footer.
Definitely another one that we wanted. And there we go. 2 star frames. Love it. Right in a row.
Yeah, nicely done from the card, as you'd expect. Able to keep the scoring going as we jump in here to hole 9, the final hole of the front 9. It's par 3 at 265. Kind of a dead straight shot. Used to be kind of a right to left, just kind of slowly drifting shot, but now that they've trimmed up some of these branches, you're going to see a lot of players go with the just forehand because it digs nicely into the hill. Oh, that's a very fortunate tree because there's also OB down the left side of the fairway. So if that held Annie, it was going to be OB well short of basket. So very fortunate break there for Jesse.
Now Lucas here throwing, looks like the slammer again, and got the pace right, gets a good bounce, puts himself in the bullseye. That's how you draw it up, folks.
Yeah, pretty much picture perfect there from Lucas. Travis, he's going to try to show us the backhand line with some sort of putter. Yeah, looks like he found the OB there, just leaked it out a little early, never got the turn that he was looking for.
We got Zach throwing the forehand as well. Something fairly stable, little high. Looking for a good fortunate roll. Curl a little bit. Come on.
Yeah, it's found its way down eventually. I don't know. It's going to leave him a long look, but so this is going to be a par save for Travis from deep. Really good effort.
Wow. Almost had 2, 80-footers? That was so close. And then Jesse here giving it a little bit, but a little too far away. Still tries to keep it close, giving it a little bit.
Zach just outside the circle. Just doesn't quite commit to it.
Now it's nice and smooth. Yeah, just need a little bit more pop. Then, yeah, Travis here, unfortunate bogey. But gets him close, you know, kind of mitigates the damage a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of bookended that front nine with a couple bogeys there. Unfortunate to drop those strokes, but really strong front nine from Jesse. Pretty strong front nine from Lucas as well, barring some putting woes. Zach and Travis, obviously a little bit of ground to make up, but plenty of time to do it. We got 9 more holes at this round, and then we got 18 holes at Klein's Run for round 3. As we take a look at the putt of the round, I mean, was there ever really a doubt, Dylan?
Never a doubt. So beautiful. Great pace. Great little curve. Love it.
Love to see it. Thank you to the Norse gods as well as our Patreon family for making this coverage possible. We appreciate you guys as always. And come on back for the back 9 of round 2 of the Norse Gods Championship presented by Home Again Disc Golf. We'll see you there.